My new book, Pillars for Life, A Guide to Spiritual Ethics and Practice, is now out and available for you to read and purchase. You can check out our website, willowhealing.org, to find a link, or you can find it on Amazon. We look forward to getting your feedback, and if you love it, please leave a review and share with your friends. Now it's time for the show. Welcome to Willow Healing Matters, the podcast. We are so excited to have you joining us on this journey where we explore different ways to empower your soul, whether it's healing in your kitchen or all the way up in the corporate world. Come with us as we look into different ways to heal your mind, body, and soul.
Okay.
Hey everyone, it's Kirstin with another episode of Willow Healing Matters, and today I am here with Kirstin Wilson, who is one half of Cosmic Harmony. And she calls herself a king and soul lit initiator with the 6-2 emotional manifesting generator pattern, and as Leo and Gemini. So in case you're wondering what we're going to be talking about today, we are going to be diving into the world of human design, gene keys, and all sorts of fun things. But Kirstin is an embodied leadership and strategy in motion. She brings grounding power, heartfelt devotion, and courage to rise again and again as to help her clients reach their highest self. She's a playful power and she meets stabilizing space, and she shares this with all of her clients. She is here to spark truth, shake souls awake, and to help others unlock their deepest, truest potential. Her energy moves fast and bold, but it's grounded in embodiment, emotional intelligence, and energetic strategy. She also shares this business with Lauren Wenzel, who is an oracle and strategist channeler, as well as a 5-1 mental projector and a Scorpio and Libra. So Lauren, who's the other half of this beautiful duo, is a visionary guide and channel of intuitive clarity. She weaves depth, insight, and spiritual precision to awaken the inner wisdom already within you. She is clairvoyant channeler that provides strategic insight, and her aura lasers into any situation, person, and offers powerful, nurturing, and effective guidance, creating profound transformation and lasting results, which is a portal for sacred feminine trust. So thank you so much for being the half of representing Cosmic Harmony. Kirstin, thank you.
Thank you. That just felt like the most longest bio I've ever heard.
Oh, I've read longer ones.
But it was fun listening to it when someone else speaks it out. So thank you so much for that, Catherine. I really appreciate it. It's really nice to be here and representing the one half of Cosmic Harmony HD, as you mentioned. I'm Kirstin Wilson. I'm based in Melbourne, Australia. It's nice to be speaking to another Aussie on the other end of a call to Catherine, because it's usually I'm talking to the Northern Hemisphere. So, we've got my business partner, Lauren, who's in Los Angeles, and I'm here in Australia. So it's great to be talking to another Aussie.
Which I love that you guys are like on complete opposite sides of the world, and yet you created this beautiful business together. And I know there's a story there, but I'm not going to share it. You can if you feel to. So how did you and Lauren do your meet cute?
I think, look, our meet cute was all about interesting with the name, cosmic timing, divine timing. Two actually ladies that we share a common friendship with had both suggested that Lauren and I should work together. But previous to that, Lauren and I had actually studied health healing and codons with a beautiful lady called Vicky McHale. And we'd studied this human design element, and we knew each other, but we didn't really know each other on a personal level. And then fast forward many months later, when two friends had said, you two should be working together, it was kind of like this cosmic timing of us going, this is the thing that we should be doing. And it was just really interesting how it all started, because the way that we started is not what we envisage now. And I think that's what the most beautiful part of the work that we do now is, that it has really evolved and become evolutionary as we grow, right? And as we change and we develop. And it's been so fantastic for you to have a privy to some of the work that we do too, Catherine.
I have, and had the privilege of sitting into one of your, do you call them master classes or do you call them meetups? I can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, we call the membership a portal, and
Yes.
it's a membership portal.
Yeah. And it was just really lovely to, for anyone that's curious about human design or gene keys, which I'll get you to explain a little bit more in a moment. But there's this aspect of, I don't know, like trying to pull it apart the chart and actually have it apply into your life can be really difficult. You know, we've all got the basic things that you can
Mm.
get from the free profile or popping onto the Gene Keys portal, but actually understanding what the numbers and the placement and all that actually means, it can be really nice to have a more detailed guide and support into actually unpacking that, and especially knowing how that then plays out when astrology kicks in and how that comes into your life that way.
Yeah, yeah, and I think you've got that. Like, it's all well and good to know what your type is or what your numbers are, um, or maybe even what your strategy and authority is. But if you don't know how to use those things in your daily life, well, what's really the point of actually knowing them,
100%.
right?
It's
What do they
like
mean?
it's like when people say I'm this star sign, and you're like, well, all right, how does that actually show up in my life then? Like I
Mm,
know I'm Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon. So yeah, I'm really emotional and I like to be at home and I know what my values are and they always align with the Cancer things, but at the same time, if you don't understand what it means and just say, oh, that's what I am, then you're actually not fully getting to know yourself either.
yeah, and I can be a testament to that. I've been what they say. I've been on my journey, this in a simple way, but I've been walking the path through the lens of human design for it'll be coming up 6 years soon, and through Gene Keys for 5. And it's all well and good, like you said, to be aware and know these things, which I did for many years, but really truly stepping in and embodying this work for the last 2 or 3 years with both of those modalities. And so I was dabbling in them for a couple of years and studying and doing all the things, but I wasn't really embodying the work. And I think until you start really embodying this information or whatever it is that you're learning, it then can really shift and change you and really change your mindset, the way you look at life, your friendships, your relationships, the way you do business, all of these things that we all want to be better at, right? We all want to understand and really grow into ourselves and be better humans. Well, how can we do that if we don't understand these tools that maybe we think we know, but we don't?
Yeah, and I think that's such an important thing too. We can have all the knowledge, but until we apply it, it doesn't become wisdom, right? I love that
Yeah,
saying, knowledge
yeah,
is applied, wisdom is applied knowledge, because,
yes.
you can meet all these scholars and everything like that. And I still remember when I was at university studying speech pathology and the supervisors who all they did was lecture and research actually were the worst ones to learn from because they weren't practical and actually hadn't worked in the real world and actually worked
Mm,
outside this research capacity. So then they'd be like, oh yes, you can do this approach, we've shown that it works, it just takes 32 sessions of 1 hour a week. And we're like, well, as a parent trying to budget for that, how do we even afford that? And how can we charge for that? It's just not practical. Like,
mm.
can we have it a different way? No, you have to do it this way. So it's really, and it was just to teach one word. I still remember that was to teach one word for like 32 sessions for an hour to embody one word. It was just like, this is not practical or functional. And it comes back to,
Yeah.
yeah. And it comes back exactly like you were saying, like understanding more about human design and gene keys. So I feel possibly,
Mm.
Kirsten, a question popping in my head is what's the difference between the two and what even is it? So some people listening might be like, I've heard these terms, but I have no idea what they are.
Well, let's separate them first, okay? Because they are
Yes.
different and they are unique and they've been founded by different people. And the way that I weave them in, that's another part of the story. So I'll separate it all. So human design is really like a modern system of self-awareness, and it really gives you a personal growth foundation that um, Ra Aruhu is his name. He's Canadian. He was, well, Canadian. He's passed on now. So in 1987, following a mystical experience, he had this download, and the download of the voices told him about this combined ancient wisdom, which is also combined with modern science, and it has various modalities interwoven in it. So it includes astrology, it includes the ancient Chinese I Ching, it includes the Kabbalah, Tree of Life, it includes the chakra system, and then there's science of neutrinos. So that is all encompassing of what human design is. Human design, people look at it when they get a body graph, they can look at it and kind of relate to it looking like a person with centers on it that are the chakra systems that you'll see, and then you'll see different shapes and different shapes and then different channels and gates on there. And then you'll see some astrology on the sides, on the right side and the left side. And we've got the personality side and the design side. So it's a personality side, but the design is really about your body and what you're embodying, and maybe even perhaps what you could be embodying. So that's the simplest way I can describe human design in a very short way. But Ra actually discovered that the neutrinos, the tiny particles, pass through us at all times. And these particles carry information that can really influence our life. And by analyzing the positioning of the planets through the time of your birth and the location of your birth, then human design gives us a snapshot of that energetic blueprint that you were designed to be. And it's really fascinating because when you look at it on a report, you can see these shapes and numbers and astrology and things colored and not colored. And it's like, what does that all mean? How does that all work? And
Exactly.
so through this system, really having a certified reader or doing some mentoring programs and really unpacking it is the way that you can begin to step in to embody it, I believe, personally. That's my personal view. But through this system, you can really gain a deep understanding and insight into your strengths, maybe even decision-making strategies, how you can align to yourself. How can you actually be the person that you were born to be? And perhaps you haven't been playing that out for however many years.
Yeah, and that's such a beautiful reminder because anything like this, human design, gene keys, even astrology, numerology, they're all there as gifts as for insight inside yourself. They're not
That's
there
right.
necessarily to tell you how to live your life, but they're there so you understand yourself better. So it makes it easier to live your life that's aligned with your soul.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then so on the flip side of that, you mentioned what is gene key? So I'll give you a little bit of an insight to that without sort of diving too much into human
Into the
design for
big,
the
thick
moment.
book. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So Gene Keys was founded by Richard Rudd, who's an Englishman who also had a 3-day mystical experience. Now, let's backtrack for a moment. Richard was a student of Ra Uru in human design prior. And so fast forward, Richard had his own mystical experience and unpacked gene keys. There are elements of human design that are woven into the gene keys. This comes from the ancient I Ching. Okay. And so gene keys are 64 unique archetypes, which are based on the Chinese I Ching. And when you walk through the archetypal energies, you really can understand how to truly transform the core beliefs about yourself and really have impactful psychological changes. This is what's happened for me.
Mm.
They've been so profound. It's like it's really wild. Now, what's the main difference between the two? I believe that human design is very masculine and Gene Keys is very feminine. There
Mm.
is like the yin and the yang, and if they're not together, you might have a completely different experience. So when I began to embody them and understand them both together, it really shifted and changed a lot. And from my understanding, it's changed on a deep cellular level. And that's both physically and metaphysically.
Yeah. Which is so empowering because you have a little bit of a backstory to Kirsten of where you came from and then applied this in
Mm.
the life. Would you mind sharing that story?
Yeah, so I've had various businesses in my life. I was born to be an entrepreneur, I believe. Even from a little girl, around the age of 5 or 6, I was selling flowers at the front of my uncle's shop. And I was always smelling aromatics and playing with flowers. And fast forward, I became an aromatherapist and I've had 3 different aromatherapy brands. And so I always understood frequency in some way, played in orchestras as a child as well. So I understood music in that frequency. And then when I started learning about human design back in 2020, and then Gene Keys shortly after, this was when the global shift and change started happening, right? And so, what better way to really understand who I truly was and what I really wanted to be in future, who I wanted to become outside of a corporate life? And with some huge um, medical challenges, including I had a mini TIA, which is like a mini stroke. And then I'm put on the most crazy excessive amount of water retention and weight gain.
From the
And that caused
drugs.
a lot of
Yeah.
impact on, yeah, it caused a lot of impact on my body, a lot of impact on
Mm.
my body. And so I went on this radical metabolic health change to really change my body and overhaul it. And then, other things, hysterectomy and all sorts of fun things that happened in my time
Fun,
of my
fun.
life. And so when I started really unpacking um, through going through, there's various sequences in the Gene Keys, and I really started embodying the one about love and about self-love, which is called the Venus sequence. It really helped me truly understand how I could never really look after myself and my health correctly because I wasn't married to my health. And that's part of the
Mm.
language that Gene Keys uses in one of my spheres. It talks about being married to my health.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, so whilst I was on the Venus sequence, I was on a 12-month embodiment through the Gene Keys, and it was wild. And Venus was one of the sequences that I went through. And when I really truly understood that I needed to start preparing food in the right way through the lens of human design, which is the primary health system, and started unpacking my own primary health system. And then I began learning also about the dream rave in rave cosmology, which is in human design. These are deep, deep levels of human design. These are not the surface kind of just knowing your type and so forth. Um, they really, really helped shift and change how I was looking after myself now. How am I supposed to look after others if I don't look after myself first? And, I have the mother and the father archetype in human design, the 37 and the 40, and I have the full channel there. And what that reflects is that I need to be looking after myself so I can truly look after others. That's who I'm born to be and here to be, is to help others transform through my own transformations.
Yeah,
So if I can
100%.
help myself, I can help others.
And I love that you call yourself an embodied meant strategist because you have embodied all the lessons that you're sharing to allow people to get the strategy and how to get there, right? Because there's
Yeah.
such a I don't know if you find this, but I find I connect with people on Instagram and they don't actually embody what they talk about, or they have had no life experiences and they're there trying to share like, hey, this is how you can earn like create a 6 7 figure business, but they're not even doing that themselves. You know, it's not actually embodying and teaching what you've already walked. And I find that's something really refreshing about you, Kirstin. It's like you're like, no, I've gone through all this. I've been through the fun, through the fun. I've gone and I've come back and I've learned how to fully embrace this in my life and then find a way between you and Lauren to share that with the world as well.
Yeah, thank you. That it means a lot. And for me, through learning and understanding more about my human design on a deeper level too, and then starting to understand through the planets and how the transits actually change weekly, and there's an influence weekly within our lives universally.
Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
when we actually know these, it's a lot easier to be able to understand why I'm feeling this way this week, or why maybe this happened to me this week, and then follow your strategy and authority in human design. Depends on how you're made up, right? Who you're designed and born to be, and have less of an impact, I guess. It can be a little bit easier. I'm not saying that it can't be cataclysmic. I'm not saying it's not going to be impactful, because there's still things in my life daily and weekly that are, but I can appreciate and stand back and see from the
Mm.
outside now how it's impacting me, and stop myself from like them being so full on or so dramatic, or because I have an emotional wave that I need to follow. And now that I know that I'm an emotional being, that it's okay to ride my emotional waves and follow that by making a decision at the end, not on the high or not on the low, it can really help me then make the right and correct decisions, or understand what it is that I'm going through during a process.
Yeah, and I feel that's such an important point you bring up because often, the whole point of these is knowing yourself so well, like knowing what your triggers are, your wounds are, what you avoid when you actually need to be going
Mm-hmm.
towards it, what your signs. I know
Mm-hmm.
for me, like from dabbling in human design, it was like when I learned that my sign of not being in alignment was frustrated, I was like, oh, this makes so much sense because I would get frustrated when things weren't working because it wasn't working for
Yeah.
me. Like, so these are all there as tools to help you embody who you truly are because life is hard, like it's not it's
Mm-hmm.
not meant to be a walk in the park because our soul needs to evolve. Our soul needs to learn the lessons it chose to came. So if you can find something to help you navigate that, I would say like this is the map, right? This helps you navigate that, not get you to the destination, but at least
That's right.
helps you know exactly, that's why I'm acting this way today, or, that's why that feels icky, or that's why that feels more in alignment, and getting that understanding on that deeper level so you can embody who you really want to be in this world.
Yeah, and I think having having the human design blueprint is exactly that. It is the map.
Yeah.
So that human design blueprint is the map, right? But then gene keys, I in through the processes that I've been through and through the paths that I've walked, I really feel like the gene keys is the navigation system, how to navigate the map of
How to
human
decode
design.
it. How to decode it, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely. And so it kind of just, like I said, it's the yin and the yang, they go together.
Hmm.
It's the polarities. It's right. So they really need to be able to be embodied so that when they're woven and they're interwoven into each other, they're just so much more impactful that you've got the feminine and the masculine there. You've got both there to hold you on either way. And so that's why it's so profound for males and females. This isn't just a female centric type work. This is
Mm.
not about the feminine and the woman going through this to find out who she is. It really isn't. It's for everybody. But you just have to be really gentle and kind with yourself when you're going through these processes too, and having the right people there to support you. And I think I wish I'd known that from the beginning. I really would have probably invested more energy and time into finding someone to help support me rather than spending the first few years down rabbit holes here, down rabbit holes there, reading this book, doing that thing. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like we've all been there and we've all done it. And we all say in hindsight. So if you said to me, where would I begin again? I would say find somebody to help you walk through this journey.
Mm.
Have that person to hold you.
Yeah, and I love that, from that you've birthed with Lauren this membership portal, so that people can come in and actually embody what's going on in the universe in their own systems. And from being there during one of the sessions that you ran, which was like, hey, what's your chart say? And you can actually help me apply it on the spot instead of me sitting there going, what does this actually mean for me? I have no idea, so being
Yeah.
really active and involved and having that community to talk about it with too, because I think we underestimate the power of community and having people you can discuss things with and to learn from. And it's like that full circle that we start from where we started, right? Which was like you can have all the knowledge, but unless you're able to apply the wisdom, then it's just going to stay as knowledge in your head and not actually have any application in your life, what it might be.
Yeah, yeah. I think from what you said, like having the support of other people on the same fractal line as you as well, and sort of feeling the same frequency or seeing the same frequency, but seeing it through a different lens, seeing it through their own experience can really only help you to understand how it might be impacting yourself. If you haven't sort of you might have sat on it, you might have walked away from the thing, you might have maybe seen someone else have something happen to them, but not really understood it. And so it's great to have other people that are feeling these changes, feeling how the transits are impacting them, but seeing it through the lens of their eyes can
Mm.
really only help open yours up
Yeah.
more. And I
Yeah.
think that's where the missing link was. And yeah, it it really isn't about another spiritual membership filled with fluff, and it is really not that. And we don't do surface level human design
No,
readings.
they don't.
No, we're not here like to play the algorithm. We're really here to help, really for you to understand the answers to the questions, to know how to embody, and then understand what the tools are that perhaps you might be able to apply in doing that. Because it's not just about the wisdom of knowing this information. It's like, what other tools can we apply? It may be going out and seeking other people that do embodiment work. It might be journaling, which we give you journaling tools. It might be affirmations or mantras. It might be frequency of listening to different music. It might be using aromatics, might be using crystals.
Mm.
Um, there's lots of different ways to be able to really understand and embody these tools through the lens of the changing of the transits.
Yeah, which is so beautiful. So, as we start to finish our time up together, Kirsten, I asked the guests that come on the show if you could heal or change something in the world, what would it be?
If there was one thing, it would be for students all around the globe, not just here in Australia, to really learn to embody human design and gene keys in their
Mm.
life and
Mm.
do it through the school system.
There's this beautiful culture, a group of people called the Essenes. Have you heard of the Essenes?
No.
And the moment the children they were they're very old. They were it's very interesting. I'm going to leave that there. But when children
Okay.
were born, they actually did their astrology so that they could learn to embody and nurture them the best way possible based on their gifts from the time and moment they were born. So I was like, what?
Amazing.
This is amazing, right? So I'm going to send you down that rabbit hole, Kirsten.
Yeah, I'm going to go down that one next. Thanks for that.
No worries. And what have you got upcoming, and where can people find you if they want to come check you guys out or look at your membership portal?
So, from Cosmic Harmony HD, our membership portal is called Navigating the Star Codes. We'd love for you to come over, have a little mini chat with us, and see if it's the right fit for both us and you. You know, before you jump in and spend money and time. We have an amazing workbook that's online. So if you're feeling called to start embodying some tools and really unpacking it through there. And also, you may be wanting to attend something in person too. Come and check Lauren and I out at the Awake Shift Human Design Conference in LA too. We'd love to see you and meet you in person.
Amazing. And I'll make sure to put all those details and notes in the show notes so that everyone can come find you. And I'll put the notes, the link for the conference too, if people want to come and check you out if they're in near LA. And I've got people all around the world listening, so there's probably someone in LA listening right now. And thank you so much, Kirstin, for giving us an insight into how
Thanks, Catherine.
human design and gene keys work together, because I had no idea it was the masculine and feminine. And as soon as you explained it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can see it coming together so beautifully.
Great. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed, and yeah, look forward to hearing and reading comments too.
Thank you for listening to Willow Healing Matters, the podcast. We have so much love and gratitude that you have taken the time out of your day to empower you on your healing journey. The views shared by the person being interviewed might not necessarily reflect that of the host and should be used at your own discernment. Trust what resonates for you and follow your heart and soul guidance. If you have any underlying medical conditions or mental health issues, please consult with your healthcare provider before pursuing any of the recommendations. Likewise, you can always contact the person being interviewed to find out more information. This can be found in the show notes. Remember to activate, align, heal, empower, and find love in everything that you do.